Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brad Lone Wolf and you join me outdoors for once in what feels like far too long. And today I am going to be doing a review of something that I saw online. You've probably seen the short videos where you get people going, these are 20 Amazon products that you absolutely must buy ever, otherwise you're missing out. Well, I was actually watching one of those videos and this stove came up. This is one of the folding portable camping stoves that's generally been advertised on there. So I bought one because I thought, actually that looks like a damn good idea, and it looks smaller and more compact than what the Bistro is over there, and it is more compact than what the Bistro is, but there's quite a few well, I say there's quite a few downsides. There's a major problem with it, and honestly, because of that, I cannot recommend these. I will come on to it, obviously you'll see me come on to it, but I'm not sponsored. I've not been sponsored to review this stove or anything like that. I bought it myself. I used my own money. Now you're probably going to hear the wind pick up as I'm doing this, because sod's law, I'm trying to film a video, so naturally nature wants to make this as difficult as possible. Anyway, these stoves, the portable stove, so let's get it out of the box. So in the box itself, when it comes through, it's quite heavy actually for what it is, but in the box you get the case. The stove itself is actually in the case, and you get the leaflet. I can't follow it now. Anyway, there is a good amount of English on the instructions. So this is the stove itself in the bag. Nice and compact. That's a windshield. Not going to need this for the review. In fact, it's probably the best thing of the stove, but we won't need it for this review. So this is the stove itself. You're supposed to pop your thumb in there, and then the whole thing folds out, which it does. You've got the tripod, and that is where your gas canister goes. Now, it uses the long CP250 gas canisters, which is also an advantage because these are easier to get than the Coleman or the camping gas stoves that you can really only get in outdoor shops. These you can find in most hardware shops, if I'm honest, and you've probably seen them around. You've got to make sure that you've got one with the notch in the top. Now, making sure that the stove is turned off, put the gas canister in, and you have to push the gas canister till it makes contact with this section here. If you can't see it on that camera, I will switch to this camera. There's a magnet there that it has to make contact with. Now, as you can hear, as I'm trying to put this gas canister in, that it released a lot of gas, and that is a lot of gas. Now this is where my issue with this stove comes in. This gas canister is held in place only by that magnet. There's no redundancy lever back here that pushes the gas canister on. There's no lip in the cover that engages when you push it closed. Nothing. It is literally relying on that magnet in there. Now when you switch it on, I don't know whether you can see the flame. When you switch it on, you can hear it, you can smell it, obviously you can feel it. However, as I've already stated, the gas canister itself is held in purely by a magnet. Now, I realise that these stoves wouldn't necessarily be on sale if they weren't safe. However, if I pull the gas canister out, let's say a little bit of debris happens to get in between the magnet, and the canister, you don't notice it. You've pushed your gas canister in, you're now releasing gas. You're now releasing the gas, and when you go to ignite your canister, you've suddenly got gas coming out from here into a flame, or near a flame over there, somewhere you really don't want it to go for obvious reasons. So yes, this is compact, yes, this is lightweight, folds up neatly and nicely. However, with that major safety flaw, I really cannot recommend it. I will show you with the Bistro, which is the other one over I've got here. This is supposed to be an updated version of this. However, realistically, it's not. On this stove, where you put the gas canister in, there's a little tab that you have to make sure that the gap on the canister ring actually fits into. There's then a lever here that pushes down and actually locks the gas canister into place, so it cannot move. It's physically locked in there. It's physically locked in there. It's not going to fall out. That is just the pan stove. Not as fierce a flame, but it's not meant to be. So this one won't have as much power as this one, but this one is safer, rock solid. It's not going to go anywhere. Switch that off, and as soon as you release the lever on this, the valve in that is sealed. So once again, very compact, very, well, lightweight-ish. I cannot recommend it because of that, what I feel is a safety flaw. And yes, I understand it wouldn't be on the market if it wasn't safe, but I honestly don't think I could recommend this for anybody. Which then leads me to a quandary. What the hell do I do with this now? Because I can't send it back because I've used it. I don't want to use it anymore, and I can't in good faith sell it. So what do I do? That's something I'm going to have to think about. So I suppose the moral of the story, and it should be something I listen to anyway, moral of the story, don't believe everything you see on Amazon. I'll remember that for next time. Anyway, I hope this has given you something to think about, and yeah, I hope if you do go for, if you want something like this, go for one of these, not one of these. Like I say, I hope that gives you something to work on, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.